Welcome into Sports Talk with Theo, Dorsey, South Georgia. Let's talk sports. Like my playing career, the high school football regular season is behind us. Winning is no longer a goal. It's required to keep playing. And one team that hasn't lost since August is the Cairo Syrupmakers. Steve DeVoursney had 17 total years of head coaching in the state of Georgia. This is his fourth year in Syrup country, and he's got his team in prime position to contend. Cairo has won 8 straight games and were crowned the Region 1 Quad A champs. They're now a night away from opening the playoffs at home for the 15th straight season. An amazing feat. They're now looking for their first state title in a decade, and the man who plans to lead them there paid a visit to the studio. Welcome in, as he is so affectionately known, Coach Devo, and thanks for making the trip up today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
First, I got to ask, before we get into all of that, I'm going to get into your coaching resume. For those out there that don't know you, I know they call you Coach Devo out there in Cairo, but what's something about you that maybe the average fan or somebody that doesn't visit Cairo football games wouldn't know about you?
Oh, that's a tough question. I really don't know. Just, family and football is about all I do.
That's how you spend your days?
That's it.
There we go. That's a good way to spend your days when you're in this line of field and of coaching. And let's talk about that coaching resume that we so fondly go over every single time we bring a new coach in. You started at the high school level as a head coach in Griffin, and you coached there from 2001 to 2013. You never had a losing season there. You made the playoffs every year, and in 2013, you ran the table 15-0, were the state champions. After that, you made your way into South Georgia, your first stop in South Georgia at Cairo in 2014 as the defensive coordinator. The year after that, you became the head coach. The rest is history. If you look at your career record there, 159 and 49, a 76% winning percentage. What do you credit your success so far as a head coach? What do you credit that to?
I think just hard work, trying to make sure you put the time in, having good assistant coaches, and having good football players up under you. So I think those 3 things, are a winning combination.
Now, of course, when you start off at a program, Cairo has a proud tradition, has plenty of years of excellence. When you get there, that's actually your first losing. 2015 was your first losing season as a head coach, and from there you've progressed the program. How do you feel Cairo was, the Syrupmakers program, when you first got there versus now 4 years in? How have you kind of built that what you like to have in a team?
Well, the first year is kind of a transition year. They're trying to learn you and what you're trying to do, and I think, we still finished second in the region and still made the playoffs my first year, but, obviously the wins wasn't there like they have been the last 3, and, just getting your program going. They had a good program before I got there. Coach Flaw did a great job, and when you get a new head coach, you're going to have to transition time, and I think that first year was kind of the transition period, and I think we've been rolling ever since.
Was there any point in that season where you were a little worried? Were you a little bit like, hey, these guys expect wins, they expect region championships and whatnot, you weren't able to do that just right out of the gates?
I think so. I mean, we were close in some games and just couldn't finish and didn't get it done, and so as a coach, you always want to win. You always self-evaluate and seeing what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and but fortunately for us, we finished on a positive note and kept that streak alive for Cairo, and then obviously the next year was a lot better year.
There it is, and just like that, just like how you persisted in that year, this year got off to a little bit of a slow start, and you persisted as well. You start off the season 0-2, 2 losses to rival teams. The first one, Thomasville, you lose it on a 2-point conversion at the end, and then the next one, Bainbridge, and then from there, you run the table, you go 8-2, you go undefeated in the region. What were you telling your guys after that 0-2 start to make sure that they still believed in the process?
Well, I think we just, needed more senior leadership, 1, and 2, just pay more attention to the little things, the details of the game. And I think we just challenged our kids to really pay attention to detail and, get better as a team, in all 3 phases. And, I think we've done that from that point till now.
How much different does it feel here versus, when you start off 0-2 and it's 2 rival games that they got to kind of answer for, because there's going to be a lot of trash talk, versus now where you guys are maybe on more of a high?
Well, I mean, those games are important, obviously for our community and our fans. It's something, we're going to do every year we're there. We're going to play those teams. And, it was tough on our kids, but, for them to be able to bounce back and, win 8 straight and win the region is, says a lot of, about the program. And says a lot about our kids and our community. And we have a very tight community that loves football and loves the atmosphere and loves everything about Friday night. And, we're going to make sure we're doing everything we can to keep that going.
That's what I like to hear. And for you, let's take a look at the road to the region championship and the road to 8-2 so far. As I said, the first 2 games, Thomasville and Bainbridge, you dropped those 1-possession games, rivalry games, a lot of emotion in those. And you took all that out on Northside Columbus on the road the next week, 38-zip, you get that win. Then a second straight shutout, a home game against Hardaway in the region. And you're starting off strong. You go to Westover at Hugh Mills Stadium, and that one came down to the final possession, 2-point conversion where you stop Westover, and you win that game. Moving on, you go back home for a 3-game stretch where you're able to beat Columbus, then Carver Columbus, which was undefeated in the region up to that point and undefeated on the season, 43-14, a huge win down there in Surf Country. Then you get America's Sumter, who was the region champions last year. You beat them big at home. And then you round off the season at Shaw and at Doherty. That Shaw game is where you clinch the region. The Doherty game is where you clinch the undefeated record in the region play. And as you look through how that season progressed, the biggest thing that stands out is you guys weren't just winning these region games, but these region games weren't really close. How were you able to make such a jump and such a shift to kind of separate yourself from the rest of the region's opponents?
We started out playing pretty good. We played really good on defense early in the season, and then special teams came along. Then our offense started about game 3. It started coming along, started clicking. So to get that all 3 phases going, really made a big difference. And when you have all 3 doing pretty good, then you got a chance to beat some good teams and beat them pretty good.
Definitely so. And I have it here that we were going to talk about the team identity, but of course, we kind of covered some of that earlier, so I'll jump ahead to one of my last topics of this first portion of the show, and that's more about what you guys do as a team. Actually, I had to talk about the region titles. I want to talk about the team identity. Excuse me there. Getting jumbled up here because we're approaching trivia, and that's my favorite part of the show. The team identity right now, you talked about how the offense and the special team have come along. Anybody that hasn't been out to a Syrupmakers football game this year, what can they expect? I know first and foremost, your defense is stout. What can they expect from that offense? What style of play are y'all going with?
I mean, we're very versatile. We have a running quarterback that can throw and run, and we do some different things, and try to keep defenses off balances. So we try to mix things up as much as we can. A lot of our kids play hard and play fast, and that's kind of what Cairo's always been known for, and try to keep that tradition going.
Definitely. So you got a lot of playmakers. I've seen the highlights. I've been to some of the games, and you got some playmakers on the edge with a lot of speed. And it is some exciting football on the end as you see some of those playmakers making some touchdowns on your screen. So right after this break, we're going to bring John Barron in, and he's going to have the trivia. It's called Theo versus Everyone, and that's because usually I beat everyone. We'll see if you're able to hold up. Welcome back to Sports Talk with Theo Dorsey. We got Coach Steve DeVoursney of Cairo, 4th-year head coach. And welcome in John Barron of WLB, the guy who always roots for the coach in Theo versus Everyone.
It's not rooting for him. I just have, the game. Sometimes these coaches don't. So I just got to, kind of help them out a little bit, make sure that that all our viewers know that, you kind of cheat. So got to help you out a little bit.
Well, let's get it rolling then.
All right. Well, look, we've got 9 questions, as many of you know. But, Coach, we got 9 questions. 3 of them are multiple choice. Last 6, you have to provide me with the answer. If you ring the bell first, get the opportunity to get the chance. If you get it right, you get a ball. Person at the end with the most wins.
Gotcha.
Simple enough. Here we go. Ready? All right, let's go. Question number 1. Who has the most wins as an NFL head coach? Don Shula or Bill Belichick?
Don Shula.
That is correct.
Say something. You're slow to the draw there, right?
Okay.
I got you.
It's 1.
I'm sorry.
We have 8 questions left, and you're already talking trash. My goodness gracious. All right, well, let's see what happens. Which NFL quarterback has never started a game in college at Southern Cal? Matt Castle or Matt Flynn? Now, this is a guy that's also playing in the NFL.
Who never
started
a game
one
in college
snap
at Southern California?
He rang first.
Flynn?
No, that was Matt Castle.
Really?
Matt Castle never started a snap in his college career in Southern Cal and then played in the NFL.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, Matt. Neither has John. He's not going to play in the NFL, though.
We'll be right back. You want to? Question number 3. How many Heisman Trophy winners have also gone on to win the Super Bowl MVP? 1 or 4?
Such a large number difference. Let's go with 1.
Yeah, you might want to take 1 out because it was 4.
All right, great.
Wow, look at that. We are 1-0 after our multiple choice, so
that's not good.
Hopes are high for these next 6 that aren't. So
we'll get
here we go. Yeah, we got 2 questions more before we go into break, so bear with us. Warren Moon was inducted in the NFL Hall of Fame. What other Hall of Fame was he also inducted into?
University of Miami, football.
They have a Hall of Fame?
You never know.
No, Coach, do you have one?
Oh, Warren Moon. I thought Warren Sapp. Oh, man, this is terrible. I know
Warren
exactly
Moon.
what you're talking about now.
Texas Hall of Fame?
No, we were
Canadian
looking
football?
for CFL, Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Yes, it was another
Warren.
league. Yeah,
Warren.
Well, there's probably quite a few Warrens out there, but only one Warren Moon. One that we really care about. Question number 5, before we go to break, because we need it. Which of these states has produced more Hall of Famers than any other? California, Georgia, Texas, or Pennsylvania?
I don't care. I'm going Texas. I don't care.
That is incorrect.
Hall of Famers. California.
That is correct. California with 32. Man. Thank you, my Lord. We are going into this one. Tied at 1 apiece. Count it up. Boom. Boom.
Did he just
1 each? There you go. Yeah, helping him put what he got in there.
No.
His just deserves right there.
All right.
Oh my goodness. All right, when we come back, we will have 4 more questions for you guys. Hopefully, there will be a couple more balls in East basket over here. I guess vase, whichever one, boss. I don't care. We'll be right back with more sports trivia when we come right back from the break. Well, welcome back into our sports trivia of the segment. We right now are in our trivia portion of the game. We got a nice little shot of the helmets right there. Did you see that setup? That was nice, right? Coming back in. They didn't want to see us. It threw me off because I was like, wow, that is a lot better. Keep it there. We'll go through the last 4 questions because that's a lot prettier than right here.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, guys. But right now, we're tied at 1 each. All right, so we got 4 questions left with a possibility of 5 points. So it's anybody's game. Ready?
What's your prediction, though?
He wins.
I'll beat you
All
by
right.
1.
I'll beat you by 1. All right.
All right.
The line has been set.
All right, what is yours?
I'm gonna
That's
win.
great. So question number 6. Question number 6. The single season touchdown reception record is set at 23 back in 2007 by this former Marshall great receiver.
Randy Moss.
Thank you. I thought you were going to be like Randy Pancake or something. Get his
Well,
name
I
wrong
say
because Warren Sapp, when I said Moon.
This guy, that's old stuff, man. When that happened,
My
like
goodness.
last
It happened
block?
like last block,
Yeah.
yes. So 5 minutes ago. 2-1. It's already getting up there. Question number 7. Seattle Seahawks must pay a licensing fee to this university
easy.
using the 12th
I'm
man
gonna let you
slogan.
go first because I'm from that.
Okay, let him
Nah,
tie it
'cause I
up.
know he's gonna
Texas
miss it.
A&M.
That is
Okay.
correct. Texas A&M.
That's all right.
Why don't you go ahead and tie it up, Coach?
Yeah, all right.
Can understand if you were up like 5-1.
Well, this is the thing. When you have this much confidence, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
Coach?
Theo, haven't you lost like the last
Well, they're in
2?
the SEC now. That's why I know.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, if they didn't move to
They
the
were
SEC,
something in like ACC, Big 12.
Big 12, they were there still. We'd be all right. It's cool.
All right, question number 8. Michael Vick was the first quarterback chosen in the 2001 draft. The second pick, meaning quarterback, just broke Brett Favre's record for completions. Who was number 2?
Let me tell you something. If I had to choose who that would be, it would be Drew Brees, Purdue. You know
Show
what I'm
me
saying?
Drew Brees.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I was just in the Superdome when they played the Rams.
That is so fantastic. Well, Coach's prediction might come true. Question number 9. This is the last one. Coach is only down by 1. Theo has the opportunity to win here.
Yeah.
Or he could screw it up. I don't know. The last 2, it seems to, the last question's kind of, screwed him
Well,
up.
is it going to be a Cairo question? Can I ask you that right now?
Question number 9.
Oh, my gosh.
As it always is.
I swear.
Who clinched the 2018 Region 1 4A region title? Come on, Coach! Come on!
Okay, I guess I got to say it. The Cairo Syrupmakers. Good job, by the way. Congrats on the region championship.
Thank you.
But as a man who covered it, I had to jump on that one and get it right.
He acts like, he's going to get the opportunity to get the ring for winning this.
Yeah, that's true. I don't get a ring for it, but what we do get is more sports talk. Everybody wins in that way. Right after the break, we're going to bring on the voice of the Cairo Syrupmakers, who's been doing it since 1982, Michael Best. So stay tuned. We got some stories to tell. And welcome back to Sports Talk with Theo Dorsey. We have now with us Michael Best, the voice of the Syrupmakers, and of course, Coach Steve Devo of the Syrupmakers for the past 4 years. Now, you've been here since '82, representing the Syrupmakers and going along on their journey. And I'm sure if you've been to a Cairo game or if you listened on the radio or whatnot, people know about who you are and they know how much you know about the program. And I want to take you back a decade ago.
All right.
So the last time Cairo won the state championship game, and you told me you were there. Can you just describe to me what that feeling was like and what that game was like for them to take the trophy that year?
It was pretty exciting because it was in the Georgia Dome, and it was a big time thing. In 1990, we won the state championship, and that was played at Worth County. Very exciting atmosphere there. It was in their home stadium, but to play in the Dome, and the year before we had lost a heartbreaking game, 2007 to Carver Columbus. So the next year was kind of a year of redemption, is what we talked about, and got to beat Carver the week before in their stadium, and then go to the state championship, and it was exciting. Great night.
That's got to be a good time. And then I do have a question for you and Coach. So when Coach Devo comes in 2014 as a defensive coordinator and then takes the job as head coach, what were y'all's conversations like? Because I'm sure you knew that he was like a pit of knowledge when it came to Syrupmakers football. How did y'all meet, and what was that like in the early stages?
Well, not only the voice of Syrupmakers, but he's also the team chaplain. So, hearing him each week, doing the pregame devotion and things like that, just picking his brain, about Cairo stuff and the traditions and things like that, it was big for me coming in.
Yeah, and what were your first impressions of Coach Devo, and how has that evolved now that you've seen 4 years of him on the sidelines?
Each coach, I've been through 8 head football coaches, and each one of them have been different through the years. He's very likable as far as media goes. I have to do a radio show with him every week, and so he's very accessible for that. Very accessible, lets me be a part of everything, which is important to me because you never know when you get a new coach how's it going to be, and so just getting to be a part of everything has been very exciting, and it's like we've known each other for years.
Yeah, and the fact that he thought to bring you up here tonight for the show, I was happy when he said that. So sharing the shine a little bit here. Maybe you should have subbed you in for trivia.
I wish I could help you with that trivia a little bit.
Definitely so. So I would say, what is your impression? You've seen so many iterations of Cairo football. What's your impression of this 2018 team and how they've been able to kind of chain together these wins on the back end?
It's been a typical year of a lot of Cairo teams through the years get off to a slow start and then finish strong. And that's kind of one of the things we talked about as a team chaplain, finish strong. And so we got off to a slow start. You hate to lose to your rivals, but you knew that this team was going to get going, and they did. And the Carver game was like an identity game. I remember challenging the team that day and saying, okay, now here's your shot. They're undefeated. Let's get a big win, and we did. So good, strong defense. That's what Cairo's all about, and an exciting offense. So it's a typical Syrupmaker team, but rolling, and 18 region championships, and so
that's impressive.
And we've also we're playing in our home game to start the playoffs 15 years in a row, which is pretty impressive too.
Yeah, that's nothing to scoff at. And Coach Devo, with you being able to hold that streak up, how important, even that first year we talked about, you kept the streak going that year, even with the losing season. How important was that to you to keep the tradition alive? How much do you think about the Cairo tradition when you're out there trying to get those wins for the team?
Well, trying to keep that streak alive, big. One day it's going to end. I hope I'm not there when it does, but one day it will. But we're just trying to keep those traditions going, try to keep the streak alive, and it's the 16th year in a row they've made the playoffs. So it's good things going on in Cairo football right now.
Good to see you doing that. And then Friday night, I want to talk about that because that's what's important. Of course, all of this hoopla is just part of the show. But Friday night, you're going up against Mo Starr of Henry County. That's the head coach there, and that's your first-round playoff game at home. He was your defensive coordinator at Griffin at a certain point. Coach Devo, what do you expect to see out of Henry County, and what can people expect Friday night?
They have a lot of athletes. They have some really good athletes on offense, a quarterback, running back, and a couple of receivers. And he does a good job defensively, making sure they're sound, and he's going to try to keep the ball in front of you and not give up the big plays. So, he's done a good job getting those guys into the playoffs this year.
Thank you so much. Friday night kickoff at 7:30 in Cairo. You can catch that one. We'll have it on the Locker Room Report. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach Devo. Michael Best.
Thank you.
Best of luck to y'all.
Thank you.